Are you still feeling hungry after you eat a big full meal? I'm going to tell you that this is a common complaint I'm hearing from all of my patients, that they're trying to do everything right and they still feel hungry 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours after eating. Just 2 days ago, one of my patients came in and said to me, "Doc, I don't understand what I'm doing. I'm really trying to be healthy now, and I'm still feeling hungry all day." I'm going to tell you exactly what I told him the other day, and that is, you're not broken. This is a metabolic signaling issue going on in your body. The metabolic pathways are still there, but they're just not being responded to properly. And this can all be fixed. In this video, over the next 10 minutes, I'm going to share with you exactly the three mechanisms that are breaking or what's causing the signaling issues. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you can do to fix it. I'm Dr. Stephen Gabriel. I'm a metabolic expert. I'm a board certified physician, and I'm really excited to share what is going on with why we all seem to be hungry after eating. So the first three mechanisms, or the main three mechanisms that cause us to be hungry after eating, start with number one, the blood sugar cycle that gets out of balance. Here's what happens. In your body, you eat food. When you eat food, it turns into sugar. The sugar goes into our bloodstream. The pancreas releases insulin to move the sugar from our bloodstream into the cells of our body. If that signal is not functioning properly, the sugar level spikes high, spikes quickly, then it's too high. The pancreas tries to catch up, it overshoots, then the blood sugar drops below our baseline and we feel hungry because our body thinks there's not enough sugar. So this is the blood sugar spike cycle that gets out of whack. That's the first mechanism. The second mechanism that's causing us to be hungry even after we eat is leptin resistance. Leptin is another hormone, just like testosterone or estrogen, in our body, and this is a satiety hormone. Just like GLP-1 regulates satiety as well, that's another hormone. But leptin is released from fat cells in our body, and it's a mechanism for our fat cells to say there either is enough storage in fat or there's not enough storage. And when this signal is broken, our body keeps eating even if our storage levels are high. So that's the second mechanism, leptin resistance. The third mechanism is a GLP-1 mechanism. This is, the hormone that we're hearing about in a lot of pharmaceuticals these days. So GLP-1 is the metabolic maestro. It is the symphony conductor, if you will, of the entire metabolic system. And one of the things that GLP-1 does that makes us feel full after eating is it regulates how fast food moves through our system. And if you can imagine, if it moves through very quickly, that may seem like it makes sense and would be healthy, but it actually makes us stay hungry. And the reason why is if the food moves through too quickly, then our body senses there's no food. The food didn't sit there long enough. And when that happens, our body thinks we need to eat because we really didn't eat anything. So GLP-1 signaling is another cause, or the third cause, that keeps us hungry all day. So the next thing I want to talk about is, which I think probably people are most interested in, or my patients seem most interested in, is what can we do about these things? Or what actually breaks these three things, these metabolic signals, so that we're feeling hungry all day, because we don't want to feel hungry all day. This then becomes a willpower struggle rather than fixing our natural metabolic system. So the number one thing is the blood sugar cycle. And we talked about that a little bit. So here's something you can do to fix that, or you can invert this and say what puts it out of whack. And that is, if you eat protein and fiber early in your meal before carbohydrates, and fiber is stuff like beans or fruits and vegetables, here's what happens. The blood sugar spike at the beginning gets reduced by more than 30%. And then if you don't have this big spike, the pancreas doesn't get behind. And if it doesn't get behind, it doesn't dip below. So you can do this by changing the order of your eating. The other thing that's super interesting in this category is just doing a little bit of exercise, or taking like a 10-minute walk after eating, which is pretty easy to do, reduces this spike as well by more than 30%. So that's the first one you can fix pretty simply, the blood sugar spike. How do you fix the leptin problem, or the leptin resistance, this special hormone, this satiety hormone that gets released from fat cells? Here's the big trick here. Ultra processed foods. Ultra processed foods break the leptin cycle. Ultra processed foods cause leptin resistance. This is that stuff that comes in a can, that comes in a box, that tastes delicious, that you feel like you can eat it forever. I think we've all been there. And that food was designed that way. They don't want you to be full so they can sell more of this product. But here's the tough thing, but not too tough of a thing. It takes about 6 to 12 weeks of staying away from this, and the leptin signal will come back. And it'll come back throughout this entire process. So all you have to do is don't buy ultra processed foods, and you can completely reset your leptin sensitivity so that you feel full. The third thing, the GLP-1 pathway, this is nice because it overlaps with the other two I talked about. Getting rid of ultra processed foods and doing some exercise, particularly some resistance stuff, whether it's, you want to stand up out of a chair 10 times a day, add some push-ups, walk up a steeper hill, things like that, and getting rid of ultra processed foods and eating protein and fiber. So there's a lot of overlap with the other two, completely resets your GLP-1 signaling pathway. And this one's really important because it coordinates all the others. So those three things are things you can do to reset this system on your own. But here's the real takeaway. I want you to take away that you're not broken. You have these signals and these systems in your body that all can be reset naturally. These processes want to work the way when you were born they were working, and you won't feel hungry all day. You'll get full after eating a meal. I'm going to be talking about this and things like this and the entire metabolic system, things about food cravings, hunger, how this can get all back into balance. So I'm going to be sharing videos like this 2 times a week. I'm really excited to do it. I've also created the Beyond Metabolic Assessment. So if you don't want to think about this stuff, on your own, you can do a quick 10-minute assessment, find out exactly what pathways in you aren't working right. It'll feed back what you can do about that to get this stuff back into balance. And I'm doing another video next week on food noise. Look forward to seeing you there.